with Trump, you with me.
Looks like it's time to talk about this clown again.
My stance is unequivocally MAGA. Because I know in my heart, mind, body, and soul, that President Trump will make America great again. God bless the USA.
One of Donald Trump's most loyal celebrity foot soldiers over the years, especially since the last election cycle, Kid Rock, real name Robert Ritchie, has revived his career by pivoting hard to the right.
I think I told him, I said, Mr. President, I said, you know what you should do? You should just play the Star-Spangled Banner, a different version of it, over and over and over again, so we could just watch liberal tears fall like rain. And it feels like the rebirth of our nation.
Yes.
Felt like that at the UFC fight after the election, and everybody was together, you know, walking to the ring there. There's just this overwhelming...
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden. There's just this overwhelming sense of, you know, if you've heard it a million times, that America's back. People, all reasonable people,
right,
I feel, you know, are understanding. Just like if we would have got a reasonable Democrat. Like, it's okay, like, we think differently on a lot of things, but if you're a reasonable person, and I really got to stress reasonable, because Lord knows there's some fruitcakes out there.
If reasonable is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Donald Trump and his policies, then you're either really wealthy, like wealthy enough to directly benefit from Trump's tax cuts and business deregulation proposals, or depraved enough to sell out your fellow Americans to the highest bidder and turn your back on their suffering. Kid Rock falls into both of these categories. For example,
and we're hearing there's going to be some stunts tonight. You know a thing or two about stunts, grabbing attention, maybe causing a ruckus. Anything you're thinking of that they could possibly do? Any advice for them?
Maybe just shut up, sit there and learn something. I mean, what, Ilhan Omar is going to walk out? I mean, come on, just, you know, collect your things from your office, put a basket on your head and walk back to where you came from. That's what I would say.
Islamophobia and racism against Arab Americans are so normalized in America that telling a naturalized U.S. citizen and sitting congresswoman to, quote, go back to your country, which suggests that she doesn't belong in the country, passes as legitimate political commentary instead of the racist attack that it is. But if anyone has shown how to power through and keep going in the face of bigotry, it is Representative Ilhan Omar. Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
From this during Trump's 2020 presidential campaign.
Say that she should be deported. What I did say was that America would be better off if she were deported. So there is a difference.
To just weeks ago on Capitol Hill with freshman Texas MAGA stooge Brandon Gill.
You said that Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, U.S. citizen, should be deported to her home country of Somalia.
I think that there is a serious problem, particularly given after the past 4 years of open borders, of Democrats facilitating the invasion of our country by illegal aliens. My colleague Ilhan Omar was advising illegal alien Somalis on how to evade ICE detection. That is as un-American as you can possibly get. It's unbecoming of a congressperson.
What evidence?
And I absolutely
where are
think
you
that
getting
it is
that from
disgusting.
specifically? Where are you getting that from specifically?
We have the audio of her doing that.
Not only is Gill referencing a doctored video posted by Elon Musk bootlicker Ian Miles Chong, it still isn't against the law to educate and inform anyone, undocumented immigrant or not, what their rights are when interacting with law enforcement.
She has a duty
constituents
to uphold
put her
the
in
values
office
and customs of America,
you're
not to represent foreign illegal aliens who shouldn't be here to begin with. And I think that raises serious questions.
Is helping people understand what the laws are. But listen,
That raises serious. To whom is she most loyal? Illegal aliens, Somalis, or American citizens?
She's representing
I think
her
that's a very
constituents
legitimate question.
as a member of Congress.
Unsurprisingly, raging bigot Nancy Mace launched the same attack after alleged Russian asset Benny Johnson posted this clip from a recent interview between Mehdi Hassan and Representative Omar for correctly claiming that her Republican colleagues are idiots for calling for her to be deported and that America as a whole is getting dumber by the day. Speaking of dumb bigots.
We had that woman out of Minnesota. Now she's going into Congress and she's got to wear a head covering. You know, they want to put their hand on the Quran and be sworn in. No, you have to be sworn in on the Bible. But we have an Islamic invasion into our government offices.
We already know what it looks like to have a lot of refugees come in, right? And we know the product of that. It's one of my colleagues, Ilhan Omar. She is a traitor. Absolutely, she's a traitor. She's America last. She's against Israel. She wants to defund the police. And you know what else? She helped bail people out of jail when they rioted in her own state. She's a traitor to America.
Yes, and so that she can represent radical Islam in the United States Congress. And that we need to hold accountable. That right there, we've had enough of it.
You could write an essay about how Omar's progressive political views inherently conflict with Marjorie Taylor Greene's perception of, quote, radical Islam and Sharia law. But we all know conservatives like Greene here would never take the time to understand why they're wrong because it always boils down to anti-Arab bigotry.
We get in the elevator and I see a Capitol Police officer running hurriedly to the elevator. I see fret all over his face and he's reaching and I'm like, what? The door's shutting. Like I can't open it. Like what's happening? I look to my left and there she is. Ilhan Omar. Oops. And I said, well, she doesn't have a backpack. We should be fine. So we only had one floor to go, and I was like, should I say it or not? I looked over, and I said, oh, look, the Jihad Squad decided to show up for work today.
If there really is this separation of church and state like they believe it means, well, then what is Ilhan doing with her hijab on? I mean, why is she able to go in there with that? I mean, why aren't they shouting that from the rooftops, separation of church and state?
We have serious issues with a terrorist that is a member of Congress. She praises terrorists, and she married her brother husband, as I pointed out, and then her other husband, she contributed, she gave more than $1 million of campaign funds to. I think there's a couple other bookend husbands that go in there too, and then she wants to call me out on my marriage and my family. But hey, Dan, I just want to make it very clear, at least my family tree forks.
Whether they admit it or not, this is the response from the base they want to see by going on these disgusting tirades and spewing racist attacks.
I'm going to play you a voicemail that we received hours after I got off the phone with Representative Boebert after she posted her video.
We see you Muslims. We know what you're up to. You're all about taking over the country. Don't worry, there's plenty that will love the opportunity to take you off the face of the earth. Come get it, but you Muslim piece of jihadist. We know what you are. You're a traitor. You will not live much longer. I can almost guarantee you that we the people are rising up.
That voicemail was from all the way back in 2021. And while we're thankful to see Representative Omar persevere through the threats and attacks she's faced since entering Congress while continuing to fight for progress and the people, we cannot ignore how the right wing will do everything in their power to halt progress and hold the United States back. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.